How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you the top 10 drift cars in GTA 5 online. Now, unlike the top 10 JDM cars videos, these ones are actually in order of top 10. These are based on my personal opinions. Obviously, people will feel better in certain cars than others. But if you do enjoy, please subscribe, as it is free and I'll do more videos like this. Anyway, enjoy the video. Now, in 10th we have the Bravado Gauntlet Classic. It's a really nice car, like when it's customized, as like mine, it is quite nice, but it does drift pretty well. It sneaked into the top 10 just about, but it is quite it's a different type of drift car because it's more like of a muscle car, but it is a quite good drift car in my opinion. It is quite slidey though, and as you saw there, I did crash it, but it is quite slidey at some points. Or at some points, like at slower speeds, it becomes like less slidey. At faster speeds, it becomes more slidey. Next, we have the Redwood Gauntlet. It's free. I'm pretty sure it's just normal Gauntlet, but with the Redwood kind of thing. And the reason it's in here instead of the normal Gauntlet is because it is free. So it is quite a good drift car, to be honest. I mean, some of the Gauntlet are actually quite good at drifting, so that's why this is at number 9. It does just beat the Gauntlet Classic. I feel like this one's a bit more better for drifting, but let me know what you think in the comments. Now we have the Comet Retro Classic. It is quite expensive when you get it upgraded at Benny's, but it is really slidey. Which does make it very helpful for drifts, but if you find it difficult to control very slidey cars, you're going to struggle in it a lot. Like, it's probably the most slidey car on this list, but because it's so slidey, it can make it difficult drifting it. Now, I still even have problems drifting in it, as it is very slidey, like I've said, but once you get used to it, you'll soon find out how it works and how to keep control of it. But when if you're going to start in this car, it would be very difficult for you. 7th, we have the ZR 380. This is the Apocalypse version because you can get it to look quite clean. The reason this is 7th and not a bit higher on this list is because the armor, it weighs it down a bit, and it makes the car look very, very horrible. I mean, it's a nice car, but if you could get rid of the armor, it would make it so much nicer. They need to add in a version of this car without the armor, personally, I think. You may have seen this in my 50 subscriber special, and it is a very nice car to drift in. Now we have the Willard Faction. This car is very cheap and it's very good to drift in. It's one of my favourite drift cars. Now, it's just so good for drifting. If you're a starter player and you're looking for quite a cheap one but slow drift car, so it's not too fast speed at drifting, so it's slow for starter drifting, get this one. The Faction is so good for slower type drifting. When it comes to faster drifting, it's not that good, but for slow drifting and for beginners who are trying to start off slow to get better, pick this car. It is one of the best cars to start with. Now we have the Fusillade, and the Fusillade is about as good as drifting as the Faction in my opinion, but it's a bit more for the faster starter players who want to start off at fast drifting. It's the same price as well, which makes it a lot better, and it is like a faster drift car compared to the Faction. The Faction's more slow, the Fusillade is more for fast. So that's why this is just above the Faction, because it is better for faster drifting. Now, taking off 4th spot is the Carrying Futo, one of the most OG drift cars in GTA Online. Now, with the amount of customization on this car, the amount of liveries you can get is there's so many, and it's such a cheap car as well, only 8,000. That is nothing. That's pretty much for free, and it's so good for drifting, even though it is You'd think there'd be more cars out now that would take over it, but no, it's still one of the best drift cars in the game. This is also a very good car for starting. Now taking third is the Benefactor Schwarzer. This is one of the best drift cars in the game. Now it can drift at faster speeds, but it is best for slower speeds. It's so good, and with it only costing 80k, it is very cheap. Obviously for starter players maybe who are looking to earn money, it can maybe be a little bit, considering you want to buy good cars at first, but if you want to look for drift cars that are quite cheap and very good for drifting actually, pick the Benefactor Schwarzer. Honestly, you won't regret it. Now taking number 2 is the Rapid GT. Now this, with it only costing I think around 110k, it's so good. It's so good. Like, honestly, this is probably the best drift car for starter players. Like, the best one. 100k obviously isn't a lot. Now, if you want to start off drifting, definitely pick the Rapid GT. I didn't start off in this car, but now knowing that this is such a good car, like for starter players, I wish I did start in it, because I think I would have been better at drifting now than I was before. So definitely pick this car if you're just starting drifting. Now I think we all knew what was coming in number 1, the Banshee 900R. Now this is the best drift car in the game in my opinion, and it's many another opinions as well. This is the car that I actually started in for drifting. It is one of the harder cars to drift in though. You have to be pretty good at drifting to drift in it, and I'm quite happy I started in this car because it did teach me kind of the hard way of drifting, and it does become a bit pricey, but even just using the Banshee is really good. But the Banshee 900R, if you can get upgrades to that, definitely do, because this is the best drift car in GTA 5 Online. Now if you did manage to reach the end of the video, please like. It takes 2 seconds just to like the video, and it does help more people like you who are probably looking to find a good drift car to also find this video and find a good drift car. Anyway, have a good rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you on my next video. Goodbye.